Joining us for more on this conversation is the President for Imani Africa, Mr. Franklin Kudjo. Thank you so much for your time, sir. For a while I was confused. I thought the CSOs were opposing the modality of the transaction, not the deal itself. But it appears it's the deal itself that CSOs are opposing.
Well, it's actually both. I don't know what you mean by modalities. Modalities are the processes leading to the deal itself is fraught with a lot of challenges, to the extent that the stakeholder conversations that ought to be had in order to diffuse whatever confusion we have in our minds has not been done well. There have been a few meetings, yes, but when the core issues are supposed to be discussed, the issues around valuation, the issues around ownership, the issues around directorship, the issues around the tax haven, and all of that, that would accommodate Agyapa. Those issues are still lingering. And so both in terms of process and in terms of the deal itself, there are a lot of challenges. Of course, the deal itself, the major challenge comes around valuation, which my colleagues mentioned in that particular instance, which essentially is that you cannot be basically mortgaging significant mineral resources, gold resources of this country for pittance. If you're looking for $500 million, $700 million, and then in exchange, if a lot of a significant amount of reserves in exchange for the value of 500 million or 700 million, we are saying that you could have gotten that money even if it didn't touch all these resources from the royalties that are coming from the existing mines to the tune of almost $450 million in 2 years. So why mortgage something in perpetuity, which has significant value, estimated to be almost $3 billion at least for just 500 million? That's the argument. That's the major argument around valuation that we've been making. And up to now, we've not had any significant, response. Neither from the MIF, Mineral Investment Fund, from the Ministry of Finance, and indeed anyone that is associated with Agyapa.
I'm not cutting you. If you say you've not had any significant response, what sort of response have you been getting in the few meetings you claim to have been with the ministry?
Oh, they've just been patriotic songs. Essentially, this is good for Ghana, we need to do it, which we all agree that there's nothing wrong. We are not against capitalist maximization of our assets, but we are against the valuation of those assets for cheap. Look, if you take a critical look at the deal, what they're actually saying is that even though gold is now costing $2,000 per ounce today, they want us to collect only $200 per ounce on these significant resources forever. I mean, if it's your property, would you even handle it that way? You understand? So it's a thorny issue. We've had issues about, it's a good thing, Ghana needs money. And I personally asked the finance minister in a meeting, is it the money? He said, yes, it's the money. And I said, then raise the value. Allow us to discuss the value, And the many engineers, mining engineers and mining financial engineers are aligned on the value question. And we've not heard anything significant from the ministry, sadly.
So if your concern about value is accommodated and engineers, as you are talking about, are roped in the conversation, we are going to see the CSO supporting this drive?
When you say CSO supporting the drive, do you mean the drive against the deal?
The drive supporting the deal, because you've raised quite some important concerns, and I'm asking if some of these concerns are addressed. For example, the valuation concern. Are we going to see the CSOs supporting the finance ministry to execute this deal?
Well, without a doubt, and it's not just the valuation. There's the issue about the origin or the the place that will hold the Agyapa company itself in a tax haven. As we've been told, the government is ready to sign double taxation arrangements that would obviate the need for Agyapa not to be listed in a tax haven. We don't think it's the right thing to do. So there are quite a number of things, about 4 or 5 issues, which I think we need to see some significant movement positively on.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. Franklin Cudjoe is